Hey Brandon, so I stayed late at work again, but I actually didn't realize that I meant to be home early enough to see Shane off. Ugh, my bad. So he actually is already going to the airport, and his plane leaves in, like an hour or two? So I want to get him before he gets on his flight to New York. He's taking a flight from there to Charlotte, I think, and then one from Charlotte to New York, one from New York to Korea, and then one from Korea to Japan, I think. I did have him email his itinerary to my email, and that's kind of obvious. Wow, their light is really looking weird on my face, but I haven't really seen it yet. Anyway, so I'm gonna rush home so that I can at least call his phone before he leaves completely. Anyway, when I stayed late, I was working on some assignments for class tomorrow, because I'm trying to make it more organized. When they give me the opportunity to work on things in advance, I wanted to give them a thing to help us do it. And so yeah, I'm excited about that. And then a few boys stayed with me and helped me work on a worksheet, and it was really exciting. And so I'm actually going to give both of them $80. It turns out both of them they were the only two who entered into the daily question for their class. And so I'm pretty excited to give them. One of them is going to get the $80 for the daily question, who I drew his name first, and then both of them are going to get one for helping me yesterday. They were both third years, and they were helping me with each the first year's worksheet. They don't get to really have class with me anymore, so I don't have a problem with awarding them points outside of class, not to mention usually boys are not the active ones and the forward ones, so I'm glad to have an excuse to give $80 to boys. So yeah, exciting. So I'm rushing home. I also had stopped by the high school, so I've been at home this morning, then I went to the Nishi, then I went to the senior high school, then I went back to the Nishi. Now I'm heading home as fast as this slow car in front of me will let me. And I did tell Mika Sensei today, I officially told her that she can tell the apartment owner to not hold it for me. It was difficult because, as usual, Mika Sensei spent a lot of time going, but it's cheaper. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't have the appliances, so it's not actually cheaper for the moment. It's cheaper for the long run, maybe, but for the moment, not so much. And Umi showed me car stuff that shows that I'm actually several months due. I'm kind of pissed because it turns out that this last car checkup, Stephanie was supposed to have paid it. Surprise, surprise, she skipped town before she paid it. Like, she was here for like several months after that, and she didn't. So now, if I get caught between now and February, whenever I can afford to do this checkup, they can charge me 300,000 yen. And I would serve no less than 5 days in jail. Insane. So I'm kind of feeling antsy, but what am I gonna do, right? Because I don't have the money, and I wouldn't have that kind of money, period. Like, because it's gonna cost like 70,000 yen to do that. So, and the shitty thing is, that's $700 for a checkup that they may or may not find anything, and then if they do find something and fix it, it's even more. Like, it's not that 70,000 is a blanket cost, it's actually more money. It does not cost us $700 to do a damn checkup in America. And then for it to be legalized, it's like, it makes you feel like the car companies are probably just making it ridiculously high because they know that the people have to do it every year and they don't have a choice. So I didn't bitch about it at work to Umi or them. I mean, I mildly did, just being like, what? That's expensive. But I didn't, like, get angry like I kind of really am. But that's just because I am trying to not display that. Anyway, I love you, and this video is so much of a rant that I'm wondering if I'm even going to keep any of it. Love you. Bye. Good morning, Brandon. So today is the 9th, which makes it an actual day for me to record. Heading off to the Nishi. Nothing all too exciting. I think I might stop by the senior high school to leave a bill for Umi to explain to me, because it says that, like, it's past due and it's like being like final notice, we're gonna cut off something, but that's the only thing that I can read is that it says final notice and outage. But is it power? Is it gas? Is it water? And when did I get the bill? Because I haven't received any bills that I haven't paid for. So I'm very curious to see, and then to find out. My alarm went off in the middle of my video, so anyway, I gotta find out where I have to go pay it. So today is the last day without Shane. And so yes, in some of the upcoming videos, there will be a Shane, but not all of them. He is still heading towards Korea right now. He left New York at 3 a.m. for me, and he will be getting to Korea at 5 p.m. So he's still got some time, since as how it is currently like 7:30 a.m. for me.
If you are, at first, lonely, be patient. If you've not been alone much, or if when you were, you weren't okay with it, then just wait. You'll find it's fine to be alone once you're embracing it. We could start with the acceptable places, the bathroom, the coffee shop, the library, where you can stall and read the paper, where you can get your caffeine fix and sit and stay there, where you can browse the stacks and smell the books. You're not supposed to talk much anyway, so it's safe there. There's also the gym. If you're shy, you can hang out with yourself in mirrors. You could put headphones in. And there's public transportation, because we all gotta go places. And there's prayer and meditation. No one will think less if you're hanging with your breath, seeking peace and salvation. Start simple. Things you may have previously avoided based on your avoid being alone principles. The lunch counter, where you will be surrounded by chow downers, employees that only have an hour and their spouses work across town, and so they, like you, will be alone. Resist the urge to hang out with your cell phone. When you are comfortable with eat lunch and run, take yourself out for dinner, a restaurant with linen and silverware. You're no less intriguing a person when you're eating solo desserts and cleaning the whipped cream from the dish with your finger. In fact, some people at full tables will wish they were where you were. Go to the movies, where it is dark and soothing, alone in your seat amidst a fleeting community. And then take yourself out dancing, to a club where no one knows you. Stand on the outside of the floor until the lights convince you more and more and the music shows you. Dance like no one's watching, because they're probably not. And if they are, Assume it is with best in human intentions. The way bodies move genuinely to beats is, after all, gorgeous and effective. Dance until you're sweating, and beads of perspiration remind you of life's best beads, down your back like a brook of blessings. Go to the woods alone, and the trees and squirrels will watch for you. Go to an unfamiliar city, roam the streets, there are always statues to talk to, and benches made for sitting give strangers a shared existence, if only for a minute, and these moments can be so uplifting, and the conversations you get in by sitting alone on benches might have never happened had you not been there by yourself. Society is afraid of alone, though, like lonely hearts are wasting away in basements, like people must have problems if, after a while, nobody is dating them. But lonely is a freedom that breathes easy and weightless, and lonely is healing if you make it. You could stand swathed by groups and mobs, or hold hands with your partner. Look both further.
Hey Brandon. So I just left Benishi about an hour late. I mean, like an hour after I didn't have to be there anymore. But I probably would have stayed longer, to be honest. I really want to spend some time just chilling at my schools, but I have so much that I need to go do. I need to go put the Valentines on the seniors' desks at the high school. Also need to run home and do some last minute cleaning that I just haven't gotten around to yet. So, I have a little to-do list, and tomorrow is the big day that Shane will be here. Oh, well, I found some winners for the ALT dollars. A shame that I couldn't give them to them, so they have them all week, but that's fine. Okay, hey Brandon. So yet again, I'm in the car. Sorry, that's pretty much the only place that I record for you lately. But so I just went and laid out all the Valentine's Days on the third year students' desks. And while I was doing that, there were actually some students in those rooms, so I nominated them to help me put all the Valentine's Day things down. Whew. So they were great help. Had like a league of 3 people helping me. 1 in the first classroom and then 3 in the next 2. So, and they were all like, oh, so good, thank you, and took pictures, and I almost started crying. Yeah, I mean, I understand what Chucky's saying, like, yes, I'm glad to have less classes, but it is saddening that my first group of students is leaving. Like, I really like some of them. Like, there's, you know, several different students in those classes that I get excited to see them. And unlike the Nishi, where some of them will come to the senior high school, these students, they're going to graduate and they're going to be gone. I don't know if they will work on the island. Will I see them again? You know, I doubt that they'll come by the school. It seems like when they graduate, if they're not, you know, going off to school, which I think many of them are, if they're not doing that, then what will they do with their time? Like, they won't have sports, and so many of them have, you know, sports. I really like a lot of them.